I was Star. I was late. My camera's not even in the right place. Hang on. Hang on, chat. Oh. Got to get that red glowy, like, screen glare in there. I bought a new thing, right? This thing's genius. Okay. This is entirely a Joe fault, by the way. You can kind of see it behind me here. Look at this. This is from our favourite Swedish department store, right? They're inexpensive. It's called a Skadis. Okay. This goes on your wall, right? Like that, on the wall. And then Joe found a dude or someone on Etsy who sells things built for that hold GW paint pots. So you can mount all your paints on the wall. How good's that? Evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on what has been a much nicer day here in the UK. I feel like it's a thing now. I have to update you on the weather every time. Right? It's been a much nicer day here in the UK. Welcome back to Das channel. Thank you so much for joining us, you beautiful human beings. How are you all doing? How is everybody? I love Horus Heresy. The vibe for me is less forced. Is it? I'm not late. You weren't late. I have been watching more of Mr. Pardo of recent years. I'm enjoying Heresy a lot more than AOS. You're wrong, Lehman. But yeah, that's a cool thing. Joe found it. I was like, oh, I want one of those. I want to get... I use, like... I have, like, the GW paint thing, and I pick the ones that I'm using at the time. This is an old box thing. I pick the ones I'm using at the time and put them on this little palette. And I like the idea of having them all on the wall next to me. I think Rogue Hobbies does that. Does she? Wow, if Louise does it, then it's a good idea. I can't claim the idea in its entirety though, because it was definitely Joe that sent me the idea and was like, hey, how about this? Because he was looking at freeing up space on his desk, and I want to also move to minimal things on desk, right? Got any stories about being in a queue now that we have talked about the weather? Anyway, I can probably build some links later for it if it works. Let me get it up for let me put it on the wall first, Star, right, and see if I can get it all working. And I say working, I haven't yet taken delivery of the Etsy parts, but if I can get this thing up on the wall, if the Etsy parts turn up, if I fit it all and it's all good, I'll send you all the links. What I don't want to do is send you all the links, people buy it all turns up, and then we all find out collectively that it kind of doesn't really fit, right? That'd be a problem. So let me at least test it all first, and then we'll go from there. Anywho, thank you so much for tuning in this evening on this Wednesday here in the UK. If you haven't already, please make sure you smash all those magical YouTube buttons for us. Hit that like button if you enjoy the content. Smash subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification icon if you want to be notified every single time we go live or drop a new video. Alternatively, you can become a member of the Great Hall. And if you are a member of the Great Hall, you can get yourself in Discord, !Discord, and then you can turn on the reaction roll, which makes you or gets you notified every single time we drop a new video, we go live, or we schedule a new video, right? Many things to be notified about. So, there you go. Holy crap, someone uses Etsy. Rarely. Joe sent me a link to it. I liked it, and so I bought them from this person. I'm yet to see if it delivers or not. We'll soon find out, I guess. So last night, if you have been watching the channel, if you have been keeping up to date with your streams, last night we got to a point after many Liam and Joe AOS shows where we finally got to play the brand new 4th edition Age of Sigmar live on stream. And it's something that Joe and I have been incredibly excited about since the announcement, since some of the information has been coming out, and since we got to go and do the preview day with Games Workshop where we first got showcased 4th edition Age of Sigmar. And so last night, with minimal, I'll be honest with you, minimal practice and minimal swatting up on rules, we sat there and we stood there, sorry, and we went through our first ever full 5-turn game with the training harnesses off. We had no one around us to help us. We had no one from GW. And I think on the whole, we actually did a pretty good job of getting the majority of the rules right. There was a couple, I've looked back, there has been a couple of tiny little mistakes, some of which are faction specific, where it says my movement phase or my end of turn only rather than any end of turn, and there's different bits and pieces from that I've perhaps not got quite right. But they're little minor issues that we'll iron out in time by using factions and getting used to factions, etc. Right? That being said, I think it is testament to the game of Age of Sigmar, 4th edition, the fact that Joe and I were basically allowed to or able to play a full 5-turn game, a full 5 battle round game, I should say, the first time we played 4th edition Age of Sigmar. I feel like over the course of the evening, it felt very different, right? I feel like it felt very, very different to 10th edition 40k and 40k in general over the course of recent years. 40k over the course of recent years has changed somewhat from when I really got into the game back in 6th, 7th edition to where it is now. It's changed dramatically. There's a number of things that have been brought in that I do like. There's a number of things that have been brought in that I don't like. I don't want you to think it's all doom and gloom. There's definitely things in 40k that I enjoy now that are different from before. There's definitely things that I think are worse, okay? There's some standout things from the game we played last night compared to the game we have been playing, which is 10th edition, right? There's a few different nuance changes. For example, I like the fact that you have a hero phase where you do your magic, a la a psychic phase. I kind of miss that in 40k. I do like the fact that there's no leadership checking and battle shock to track. I'm a fan of that, actually. I think that's a good change. There's other little tweaks here and there that I think I like from Age of Sigmar. And there's things I like from 40k as well that exist, to be honest with you. And I was thinking to myself today, the game on the whole felt incredibly fun. It felt enjoyable. It didn't feel stressful. And I think both of us came away having had a really good time and feeling like we played a cool game that had lots of fun hero moments, lots of epic moments, but both of us were actually playing a bit of a strategy battle game, which is really, really, really important, actually. So rather than just approaching the table, going through the motions, rolling dice, and hey, I've got Tau and you've got World Eaters and I've just killed all your stuff before you get anywhere near combat, cool. Instead of having that experience, we both felt that we played a bit of strategy. We've been working on our battle tactics. We've been working out what we like. There's lots of different things which I think made us feel like we enjoyed ourselves, and it was multifaceted. So we also had lots of crazy epic moments, which was fun.
Round Firkin bases. And Sigmar said, round shall be your bases and thy bases shall be round. If thy bases are square, thy bases are not round.
Thank you, Dave, for the 5. You fucking legend. Love you. That was a bit loud, actually. I'm going to turn it down slightly. But thank you so much, you hero, for the 5. I will get to the memberships as well, by the way, you beautiful humans. So, yeah, so I was like, okay, it felt, and I said to Joe after the stream, I was like, it felt really different. And of course it feels really different in the sense that it's fantasy over sci-fi and there's less shooting and it's more about positioning and melee and there's less bloat and the rules typically explain everything. And there was lots of things that made me go, you know what? I actually think this is a pretty good game and it feels different. But there was one thing I think that made me feel like it was really different. And it's a problem that we have, I think, expressed about 40k for a while now. And it kind of started in 8th edition with reroll auras. And it's kind of continued even into 10th edition where Warcom told us less rerolls. I don't feel like there is less rerolls in 10th edition from 9th edition. In fact, I feel like that was a marketing ploy that has very much backfired. And so I personally believe the biggest thing that made last night fun, or more fun perhaps, than 40k specifically, is the removal, essentially, of any rerolls in the game. The biggest one for me specifically is CP rerolls, right? So there was an occasion last night, no spoilers for people, there's an occasion last night where I had 4 attacks with a single Spirit of Dirthu who hits on 3s, wounds on 2s, and does 5 damage a time. And in AOS, if you don't know, if you're a 40k player, in AOS it spills over, right? And I paid a command point to make him hit on 2s instead of 3s. And I rolled 4 dice, and I rolled 3 1s. And there's nothing I could do about it. There's nothing I could do about it. I couldn't pick up 1 and CP reroll it to try and get 10 damage through. I couldn't just reroll because I reroll hits and wounds. I couldn't reroll because of an aura. The dice said, no. He hits once this time. And I think, my theory is, Warhammer 40k and Age of Sigmar are both tabletop dice games. One of them allows you to tell a story with dice rolls. The other one allows you to mitigate chance with things like rerolls, therefore allowing you to tell the story that you want to tell rather than the story that the dice want to tell. And I personally think, at the moment at least, with one proper game under my belt, 2 other games I've experienced so far, that my biggest difference in enjoyment between 40k and Age of Sigmar is the difference in rerolls. One having loads, one having none. That's what I think. But as always, I would like to open it up to the floor. I would like to ask you guys what you think. We're also going to say a huge thank you to Mordy Hammer and Evan for the 1 gifteds each. Thank you so much, people. You're amazing. A big shout out to Wee Man, who gifted 5 of the finest memberships, putting us up to 7. What a legend. And then fuck me sideways, another new Thane. Welcome to Mr. the Kai, who has become a Thane all by himself. Kai, you are a legend. If you are so inclined, you are welcome now to get yourself into the Only Thanes WhatsApp chat. There are 5 or 6 threads in a singular group. You can pick and choose which ones you're in. It is... You're a busy man, Kai, typically, right? You probably want to mute it, even though muting it's for cowards, right? But get yourself into the Only Thanes because you've paid for it. What a phenomenal community of people. But thank you so much for becoming a Thane. You absolute fucking legend. As always, we have our normal target of 100 gifted memberships. That's the noise it makes. I don't know if you can hear it. There we go. Right. And then we have our super chat target as well. And so far, only Dave's hoped that. So if you've got theories, thoughts about rerolls, lack of rerolls, added rerolls, more rerolls, blah, 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 please feel free to stick them on colourful postcards. Amy will read them to me. And tonight, I promise you, I will not read them before she reads them. I know I'm a legend, but only me and you know that really. We're aware, Kai. Stu, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. If you can just keep rolling, what's the point in D6 is exactly, Carl. So I think my theory is in 40k, right? Thank you so much, Stu, by the way. My theory is in 40k that rerolls exist to mitigate the fact that it's just using a D6 system, okay? So with a D6 system, you have 6 possible outcomes, obviously. That changes slightly when you roll 2d6 or d3, of course. But in a D6 system, you have 6 potential outcomes, right? And then when you have something like an Adeptus Custodian in the lore facing off against something like a Grot in the lore, the disparity between the lowest possible successful result on a D6 and the highest possible successful result on a D6 isn't big. It's in fact 5. If we think that a 1 always fails, that means that a Custodian hitting on 2 and a Grot hitting on 6, there's 5 levels of difference there. Now, narratively, does that give you a big enough divide between the two to actually showcase the difference between a Custodian Guard and a Grot? I would argue probably not, right? Probably not. So how do we mitigate the fact that that doesn't narratively at least change, that doesn't narratively at least represent the difference between the Custodian Guard and a Grot, right? So what you do is you go Custodian Guard can have reroll 1s. So now we don't have hitting on 2s versus hitting on 6s. We have hitting on 2s rerollable versus hitting on 5s. Well, now what we can do, because of that probability, is we can actually make the Grots hit on 5s now, because the Custodians are 2s with rerolls, the Grots are 5s. So we remove some of the feel bads for the Orc players who's like, what do you mean I only hit on 6s? That's bollocks, right? And that's where I think the rerolls have come in and done arguably a good job of mitigating the D6 system and allowing a more narrative representation in the rules, right? I think that's what rerolls do. I think we probably can all agree that rerolls absolutely do mitigate the disparity narratively when you only have a D6 system. I think that's probably widely agreed, to be fair. And for that, they do a good job, right? For that, they do a good job. So, I'm not 100% anti-reroll. But in a day and age where we play with a D6 system, there is a poetic beauty sometimes in the Custodian failing to hit or failing his armor save or the Grot doing the wound. There is a narrative arc there which makes it epic. Okay. And I think the problem I have is It's like so if you watch soccer or football, right? I feel like it's like VAR in Premiership football here in the UK, Premiership soccer. Okay. Some of the excitement and passion was drained when a team scored a goal and they had to wait to see if the video ref said it was in fact a goal. Okay. So some of that spontaneous excitement and passion was pulled away from the game of football because of VAR. Okay. Rerolls are kind of like that. Amazing, passionate moment when that custodian guard fails his final save and the grot's going to kill him. But your opponent goes, CP reroll. And he rolls it again. But there is a chance, of course, that he rolls another one. And that happens sometimes. But the likelihood is he probably rolls a 2+. In that circumstance, VAR says, nah, no goal. And everyone that was ready to celebrate is like, oh, okay, cool. We carry on. You get it? And I think that's the reason why I enjoyed it so much last night, because the result was just the result. Now, there is definitely in AOS, I think, a mild, minor issue, in my personal opinion, in how...
Still trying to learn the game 40k, so I will not try AOS just yet. Saying that, I was finishing painting Arjak Rockfist while watching the game last night and I enjoyed it. Or was it the banter?
Hopefully a bit of both. Stu, thank you for the 10, dude. What a legend. We had some really positive comments about last night, actually, in the way Joe and I came across, I think. Is football one of the bats and horses? Why not? Why not? You never say, hey, remember when I killed Be'lakor and you command rerolled his saving? You don't. Absolutely, 100%. Right? So the one issue I do have with Age of Sigmar, which is a mild complaint in the grand scheme, but it is definitely an AOS mechanic, and I think that to differentiate AOS from 40k, it should stay, right? It should stay. The big issue I have is that there are circumstances where you're taking a little unit this big who wounds on 3s into a big monster this big who's giant and monstrous and saying, I still wound on 3s. And the D6 system then kind of doesn't allow you to properly differentiate between the huge, impressive heroes and the tiny grots. But fuck me, John. Watching the match at 8, yeah, it's a half-an-hour stream tonight. Fucking hell. Look at that, chat. Who wants to beat John? I'm excited, very excited for this new edition. Me too. So I do have some... Fucking hell.
I like rerolls, but not CP rerolls.
I think it... Oh, I don't know, Des. I'm kind of... I like the fact that it helps you differentiate narratively. I do. Genuinely, I do. But I just get a bit... When someone's like 40 attacks, rerolling all hits, rerolling all wounds, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, it feels kind of shitty. In my personal opinion, I have to be clear, right? This is an opinion, okay? This has to be put across here. This is an opinion. It doesn't make it fact. It's an opinion, right? So I'm like, I feel like that's so often feel bad. Joe does it with...
Go England. Watching the match at 8.
I think we'll lose to the Dutch, but thank you, John, anyway, for fucking huge super chats. If he's done that, chat, if he's done that, he's almost definitely not going to carry you for memberships tonight, all right? So, just saying. They not change the flat rule mods on AOS. No, man. AOS is still, you wound on a number, and that's the number, right? Anyway, so... where was I? You've lost me now. Fucking hell, John. Did appreciate you trying to use the right names and terminology last night. Hopefully you can get Joe doing the same to you. He'll get there 100%. He will absolutely get there. I think it's important because one of the things I'm trying to keep getting across to people.
Whale oil beef hooked.
Thanks, just stupid for the $2. One of the things I keep trying to get across to people is that I don't want them to be the same game. And this is the thing, right? So I feel like 40k and AOS, there's a number of big differences. One of the big differences, 40k is plagued with rerolls and AOS isn't. I'm not saying I think 40k should remove all rerolls to be like AOS. That's not what I'm saying. To be clear, I still want them to both be different games. I'm banned from gifting. I have no cellular signal to use other accounts. There's Wi-Fi where you are. There is definitely Wi-Fi where you are. Anyway, I don't want them to be the same game. I want them to be different. And perhaps keeping rerolls in 40k is part of what differentiates. And do you know what? I'll go on record now as saying this. I still like and love 40k. I still love the armies that I play in 40k. I still adore World Eaters. I still adore Sisters. I still adore Eldar. I won't stop playing 40k. I just think that I prefer the fact that there was less rerolls in Age of Sigmar. And I say less because there wasn't none, right? You had a CP reroll for rerolling charge. That's it. How's AOS holding up stream with people? How's AOS holding up stream with people? I watched other streamers with AOS doing the new game. It was boring to watch, but maybe just the channels I watched. If you were watching last night, chat, maybe you can answer Wee Man for me. It's not my place to say. I had loads of fun. I'd like to think that came across, but let me say. Let me see what people say. That mechanic annoyed me. Yeah, Wee Man, I think if I was to be hypercritical of Age of Sigmar, which is a game that I absolutely love, if I was to be hypercritical of Age of Sigmar, my biggest problem with it is the flat wound roll. But again, it is something that differentiates Age of Sigmar from 40k, and so I don't want them to necessarily match. To bring in for Age of Sigmar a strength versus toughness characteristic would require a monumental overhaul. I would actually go as far as to say that by just having flat wound rolls, it's much easier to balance units. It's definitely the channels. Thanks, Lord of Cinder. Really good stream last night. CP rolls bring feels bad moments. I agree. Well, personally, I hope they bring back some of the old AOS terrain kits, even if on demand. I do too. The model range. I was building literally today. Was building more tree revenants for Sylvaneth. I fucking love Sylvaneth, and now I played them again last night. Oh my god! I saw someone also said, "Have I played Spearhead?" Where was that message? I saw that up there. Have you played Spearhead, and if so, what is your opinion on the system of play? So this is where, I don't know if Titans have spoke about Spearhead, but this is where me and Titans disagree. I love Spearhead. I've played a couple of times. I have to add this caveat, right? Realistically, the only way we know a game is good if it withstands the test of time. So if Spearhead and Big AOS, I'm having just as much time, just as much fun in 6 months' time, we can then obviously say that both of them are good systems. Because 6 months of having fun with a game system typically will mean it's a pretty good system, especially with minimal changes. I've played 2 games of Spearhead, 2.5 games of Big AOS. From my experience so far, I really like Spearhead. I think Spearhead is a much more... I think Spearhead, they've actually made a much more accessible version of Age of Sigmar. You buy a single Combat Patrol Vanguard box. I think they're all called Combat Patrols now. You fold out your battle board, which you can literally put on a coffee table. A handful of dice, and off you go. I think it's really fucking good. I think, for me personally, Spearhead is what Combat Patrol wanted to be. And if the 40k team learn from Spearhead and implement some similar changes with Combat Patrol in the new edition, it'll be a roaring success. But I also think that Combat Patrol paved the way for Spearhead. So I think we can't be like, well, Combat Patrol's dog shit, Spearhead's amazing. Perhaps without Combat Patrol, Spearhead wouldn't have been a thing. 40k going, we have these boxes, what if we made a game just on these boxes is important.
I am absolutely buzzing EOS, and this channel is probably the main reason.
Yeah.
The game last night was such a good watch. Looking forward to more.
Liam, one critique is the models are so fucking sexy. How can you get more close-ups? Melee is hard to follow. Yeah, Age of Sigmar is 100% one of those games, Dave, where I need to work on that more and come up with a solution to do close-ups. We've tried to do it with big cameras a few times. There's a cable turned up. I don't know where it is. I think it's in the garage. I need to take my GoPro over to the studio at some point and the charger. I have an idea that might work with a little handheld stabilized GoPro. The problem with the cameras is, I can't show you because I don't have a spare one. They're big fucking cameras, then they're a bit wobbly and all over the place, and the connection cable's quite loose. Now, if I can get the GoPro to fit into the PC and feed direct from a cable, I tried it wirelessly, it's too janky, it doesn't look nice. I reckon we can get like really close-ups, Dave. Really fucking close-ups. So, there are a handful of the sources of rerolls in AOS. The Shrine Luminor lets one of your Lumineth reroll a casting roll, and the 3 Guild Fusiliers can reroll 1 hit roll. Yeah, but I feel like that's It's a little bit of flavour with rerolls, Electman, without spamming huge swathes of rerolls everywhere, right? All custodians are heroes, facts. Orc shooting has always been an army building choice, usually rubbish hitting versus when they do hit it hurts, 100%. I'll be running Spearhead one-day tournament here in SC in August, just waiting on the new shop. It will be held at to hold their grand opening. Amazing. I think strength versus toughness was what killed Combat Patrol. Please prove me wrong, Liam. I don't know. Strength versus toughness has been a 40k thing forever. I'd hate to see it go. I think... do you know what? Here's where I think... What I honestly think, Electman. I think that what killed Combat Patrol was that not all Combat Patrols are created equally. I think there is more balance in the AOS Spearheads and how those rules have been written than there is in Combat Patrol. Fucking hell, Kai. Take no offense to this. Normally means it's going to be quite offensive. Last night I fell asleep in turn 1, but it's got nothing to do with the quality of the stream. Not an AOS fan, Kai? I watched 2 games of Spearhead and unfortunately I was bored the whole time. For a small skirmisher game, I need more complex rules to be interested in. That's interesting. I think if one's going to get boring before the other, I feel like it would be Spearhead. To be honest. If one's going to get boring before the other. Look at all this coming through. Still on 13 members though, chat. 127 people watching, 71 likes, which means 50 odd of you haven't liked the stream, right? Just over 50 people haven't liked the stream. That's free. It's free. Right, should I press the button again for the click, click, ding? Ready? Click. Click. Ding.
Played against Necrons. Almost all units hitting on 2s re-rolling 1s is dog shit. Get rid of that for all armies that have it.
Agree, Mr. Sven. Agree. Completely. Genuinely agree. 100% agree with you on that one. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
GoPro. Put it on Eddie and get him to walk around on the table. Model are you? Or Gojo on a GoPro?
Gojo on a GoPro on a Joped. So yeah, getting to 100 likes is free, right? You can do that for me. I'll wait. We're on 92 right now. 98. Excuse me. Fucking hell. We're nearly there. 99. Good. Okay. And then what you can do is every single one of you 130 people gifts 5 to cover off for the fact that John can't. We'll have all had a great night, right? You'd have thrown digital money at your favourite 40k stripper. I get paid. I can see Spearhead get boring faster since there's no variation for a faction. So I don't think... I'd be interested to see whether when each of the faction books come out, the battle tomes, whether they bring out a new Spearhead for that faction, because some of these are just... So today, my tree revenants come from this box, right? Which you'll notice doesn't say Spearhead. It says Vanguard. I'd imagine in the future that will change to Spearhead on this box, right? Because no one wants to be associated with Vanguard. And then, once that's done, I wouldn't be surprised, because they are the old Vanguard boxes, is when a new, what's it called, comes out, a new battle tome comes out, they give you a new Spearhead box. And I wouldn't be surprised for them to keep both sets of rules in. I would like, and I think this is really fucking hard, I don't think it's possible. I genuinely don't think this is possible. I'd love them to give you a Spearhead, like, building limit. I think typically most of the Vanguard boxes come out at about 1,000 points. But I feel like it's quite hard to balance that if you like build what you want. Essentially, you're playing a big AOS at that point, right? But I mean, arguably, what you could do, there is a possibility that you could play 1,000 points AOS just using the Spearhead rules. That'd be an interesting experiment. Sean Williams, thank you for the 1 gifted. Up to 14. Whee! Whee! They already changed the new boxes to Spearhead. Oh, have they done that already? Okay, no one with class. I'm not reading that out, Danny. I've said it already. Not sold on AOS to be honest, but my exhaustion is not a reflection of the quality of the stream. I intend to rewatch. You keep talking about the quality of the stream, Kai. I'm quite concerned. My favourite internet stripper is Tatiana, but until she comes on, I'll listen to you for a bit.
The main problem with Spearhead is that all the boxes look cool and I need everyone.
Sunchips lover, what a true statement if ever there was one. A Pogo Go Pro Joe. Exactly. A Vanguard's about 1,000 points. I think that's what Kyle was saying. Like, well, I mean, I think either Kyle or Joe last night were saying that they're all coming out at about 1,000 points or something. Or like 800 to 1,000 points. But I'm not sure. I've been told that. By people of questionable maths. Alright? The old 40k BS and WS work with rerolls. Your captain is really going to shoot Mrs. Tuber. So you probably don't know what Predator is talking about, some of you. In 7th edition, you had a ballistic skill characteristic, right? And that ballistic skill character... Narek, thank you so much for 5 gifted, you fucking legend. That ballistic skill characteristic was how good he was at shooting, and his weapon skill characteristic was how good a swordsman he was, okay? So your ballistic skill characteristic was a number in 40k. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. Right? Ballistic skill 10. Based on your ballistic skill, depending on what you needed to roll to hit, a Space Marine, for example, was ballistic skill 4. Okay? And ballistic skill 4 meant you needed a 3+ to hit. There was a table for this. Ballistic skill 3 meant you needed a 4+ to hit. Ballistic skill 2 meant you needed a 5+ to hit, right? And ballistic skill 1 meant you needed a 6+ to hit. It carried on the other way as well. Ballistic skill 5, right, meant that you needed a 2+ to hit. It all added up to 7, okay? Until you got to ballistic skill 6. So you've got as high as you can go. You've got 2+. When you got to ballistic skill 6, it was 2+ to hit with a reroll, but that reroll was a 6, not a 2+. Ballistic skill 7 was a 2+ to hit with a reroll of a 5+. It is complicated until you get your head around it, right? Ballistic skill 8 was a 2+ to hit with a reroll of a 4+, until you got to ballistic skill 10, which was a hit roll of a 2 with a reroll of a 2+. Okay, so ballistic skill 10 was 2+ rerolling on a 2+. If you missed, that is complicated. It's not simplified. That gives you much more control over differentiating between a custodian, a primarch, and a grot. Think about it. You could make a primarch ballistic skill 10, 2s with full rerolls on 2s. You could make a custodian ballistic skill 8, 2s with rerolls on 4s. They're still pretty fucking good. You could then make a grot ballistic skill 2, hits on 5s. At that point, you have a wide variety for ballistic skill. I think in terms of flavour, it's just better. And it was on a model by model basis. So you don't have Morven Vow leading 3 Paragon Warsuits where the whole unit is rerolling all hits and wounds. Twisted Toy Soldier, oh my god. Thank you for 10 gifted memberships. You beautiful human beings. We're up to 29. Each spearhead is between 450 and 800. Like the ogre box is a ton of points, but your heavy hitters sharp turn 3 to balance it out against smaller boxes like Sylvaneth being about 500 points. Interesting, Mike. Interesting. I am all about Cruel Boys and Sylvaneth at the moment. All about that life. We're going home. Are we already losing, Dave? I told everybody watch the stream instead of the football. Is it on ITV? I told everybody don't watch the football. I did warn them. No one listens. I said also, I have you know, I watched the semi-final, the quarterfinals on Saturday, and I said categorically, if both teams played the same way that they were, England would get absolutely trounced by the Netherlands. I said that. It was the thing I said. Just so we're aware, all right? England snatching defeat from the jaws of victory again. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Dutch put 2 or 3 past England, to be honest with you. And I it's very unpatriotic of me, but I kind of hope England lose because I'm already bored of the "it's coming home" brigade. But we'll see. I never watch football. It's a wise choice, Brett. It's an emotional rollercoaster that no one needs. Lumineth box has no hard hitters, no magic anymore. Nothing to counter monsters. Don't tell me I have the Lumineth box. I like the Lumineth box. Because it's like a proper core of an army. But I can absolutely see how it could be a problem against like these cheeky chaps. Are you ready, team? Are you ready? Against like these cheeky chaps. Whoop. Could be a problem. It would speed the game up a lot. A Captain Blizzard Skill 6 shooting at something standing in the open would hit on ones, auto pass, etc. What's that in regards to? Peter. What does Peter say? I can't find it. Am I on top? Oh, I'm not. I'm on live chat now. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Twisted Toy Soldiers, by the way, for the 10 gifted. You're amazing. We have just 71 to go. I just the Skaven, they look fantastic. The new Skaven stuff is fucking stunning. Absolutely fucking stunning. I wanted Sylvaneth to use a Tree Lord to teleport and long bomb charge the Cruel Boys crossbows top of turn 1. It was backbreaking and hilarious at once. Lumineth Vanguard is absolutely banger. I'm waiting to see how it translates to Spearhead for sure. It's a great box, but you can see how people that get like a Tree Lord in their box would perhaps feel a little bit more at Spearhead gaming level. The fact that if you're playing Sylvaneth, you get a little HQ Branch Witch, you get five Tree Revenants, you get 3 what do they call them? Kurnoth Hunters, and you get a Tree Lord. That's like a troop choice, HQ choice, an elite's choice, and a heavy support choice, right? That's a really cool, like, rounded box. The Lumineth don't get that. They get beautiful models. They're fucking gorgeous models. But they don't get that kind of rounded box. The Lumineth box is one where you could buy 2 or 3 for a Lumineth army and just have a super impressive high elf infantry force, which I'm all about, and I love it. But it is a different feel, 100%. Average British nerd, thank you for the 10 gifted. Oh my god, you fucking legend. Thank you for 10 gifted, man. What a hero. Up to 39. I'm jealous of the Stormcast Eternals players this edition. You're pretty much set if you get the Scaventide half and a Spearhead. 2,230 points right there. Beautiful. Get rid of hit, modulate stuff with a number of A, and how well you wound. Which is I think part of what's happened with AOS. Number of attacks, how well do you wound? There we go. Dark Orth Army box should have rules for Spearhead at 720 points, while the Slaves to Darkness Spearhead is 700 points. That'd be interesting. I mean, it's not impossible for them to do that, though, right? It's not impossible for them to say, here is Spearhead rules for the Dark Oath box. What has Britta said that everyone's agreeing with right here? I think part of the issue is just the setting of 40k. There's such a big skill disparity that shoving it into a D6 system will always have issues. So people have said this in the past as well, right? Where it needs to be like a D20 system or something like that. But I feel like if you moved any of the gaming systems, including 40k, to D20, it fundamentally comes away from being 40k. Like, I actually, with 130 people watching, I'm actually genuinely interested. Put a 1 in chat if you like 40k to come away from just being D6 and including D20s. Put a 2 in chat if you'd rather 40k just stay D6 because that's what it inherently has always been, a D6 system, right? That is part of what makes it Warhammer 40k. 1 if you'd like to see more than just D6, 2 if you want to stick to just D6 system. Genuinely interesting. I'm not English and I'm not a fan of football, rugby, ice hockey and most winter sports, but I will want the home nations to do well no matter which one it is. I mean, of course, Joe, I'm not going to be sad if England were to win, but the fans and the team in general just typically kind of embarrass themselves. Star Pilot with the obligatory 69. A D10 system. Just different to D6 Crumpets Panda is kind of my point, right? A D10 system is also on the option for 1. 7, brilliant. I prefer D12. The band? Warhammer 40k stopped being a small game in 4th edition. GW just want an army to be 3 squads, a vehicle, and 2 heroes. They want you to buy 8 tanks. 100% they do. Although I feel like with AOS, the points have, since from 3rd edition, the points have perhaps just climbed slightly, rather than, like, there's a little bit higher. I don't feel like most people have to rush out and buy loads of stuff. Why are the way to 20, not D10? Only because I was using D20s for wound counters, Mr. Wicked. D10s count for number 1 as well, right? Anything other than just D6 is number 1. D10, D12, D20, whatever. It's really split the room. It's really split the room. I'm interested in this, actually. This is quite interesting. It's almost like a 50-50. I feel like this is a poll. Should we do a poll instead? Because this is too... Like, normally it's like... all ones. Okay, clear answer. This isn't a clear answer. Poll. Warhammer 40k dice system. Stick to D6 only. Use other dice sizes. It's probably terrible English, but I don't care. There you go. Here's a poll for you, right? Brett, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships, you beautiful human being. Fucking beautiful human being. If we put a poll up this time to make it easier. D100 just to screw with people. I'm into it. I'm into it. I hit on a 2+ with a D100. I still roll a 1. I still roll a 1. I own many D5 dice. What the fuck's a D5 dice? Or is that just a typo, Narek? No, thank you for your 5 gifted earlier. I think I did. We're almost halfway, chat. You can't rely on John. He's told you can't rely on John. I'd be interested to see a D10 system. My only real concern is whether the numbers would be easy to really understand which numbers you're looking at a glance. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I like D6 so much, right? Didn't Inquisitor use D100? GW definitely had like a 100 type chart. Thank you so much, all you beautiful people, for the gifteds as well. You're amazing. Up to 44, even without John's help, is incredible. It's really... Look at that. It's almost split down the middle. I'd only consider D10 system outside of sticking with D6s. D10 divided by 2. So at this point, they should just give it a go and think of all the new dice they could use. 100%. All D3 multiple rerolls and rerolls is the way. Fuck you, Ebflow. Amazing. I can't believe... I mean, I said to you the numbers were kind of 50-50. They really are kind of 50-50. Imagine rolling a squad of aggressors shooting with D20 dice. D20 is too much, but I'm okay with D10s. But this is why I've given you just use the dice sizes, right? I've not locked it into a D10. I've not locked it into a D12. I've just been like, use other dice sizes. Play during second when there are other dice. It was fun. So I never played in second, Jason. I like how you had bought multi-damage back, but yeah, 3+ saves on 2d6 for Terminators was obnoxious. I think D6 is the best. The next best dice shape is a D12. D8 easy to read, but doesn't roll as well and isn't as much math variance. I want VR on that part. It's too close call. Off topic, but I am curious how free Titans and Heresy will work. Any free Titans and Heresy? Make a D1 system. I've hit because I've hit. I've hit because I've hit. There we go. So the sticking to D6 is kind of edging it here. Okay. I'm into it. Second was... I never played second. I think I first played actual rules, like actual rules, where I read rule books. I think I probably first did that in 5th. What year did 5th start? What year was 5th edition released? Because I think that's when I first started playing the game with like actually reading rule books as a young kid who didn't really understand what the fuck I was doing. Coin, pass or fail. Love it. We should do that one day. We should do like a fucking... we should do like a chat plays coin system. Heads or tails? Heads I hit, tails I don't. Stu, I've got the game in front of me here on a delay compared to you, by the way. 143 people watching, 133 likes. 10 of you haven't liked. Come on. Come on, you beautiful humans. And I believe we can get to the full hundy here as well. Been playing since 1994. 2008 was 5th edition. Oh, it was before then. It would have been like 4th then, I reckon. I started playing GW Rogue Trade in 1986. I was born in 1986. Right. Twisted Toy Soul. Jesus, you can't do it all. Thank you for the 5 gifted, man. You're a legend. Hero, up to 49. 1 away from 50. Who's got 1? Who's got 1? There's also a bunch of grey names in chat, by the way. 2008 was 5th edition. 2001, my first White Dwarf was a Tau release. It was before... It was around then. It must have been around then. Started in 2nd edition. Where did you all start, team? Fuck me. Fucking Star Pilot wasn't born half the time we're talking about now. Star, how old are you? Oh wait, it was 4th, 5th. Hold on while I flip these 36 coins for my Ogren shots. We need to bring back a reason for coins, don't we? Born in 82, I was born in 86. I joined the army in 86, you red ass. I joined the army in 2005. 4th was 2004. Yeah, it must have been 4th then. Lord of Cinder, thank you for the 5 gifted, you fucking beautiful human. Liz, thank you for the 1 gifted, you beautiful human. We're over halfway. Hoganhammer, thank you for the 1 gifted. Up to 56. Sunship Summer, thank you for the 1 gifted. Come on, people. The train started. 22. Isn't she 7? I mean, Carlos, thank you for the 1 gifted. Come on. 22. So you were born in 2002, Star, a year before I finished secondary school, which I think is high school in America. Only $7 to get called amazing. Exactly. Exactly. I started 6 months before 10th ed. So quite recent, Stu, to it. Started in 1991. I started in 89. My wife was born in 89. I've been a fan of the lore since 2000 and started painting about 10 years ago. Incredible. I started around the same time as 5th. I started in 2nd ed and I was born in 1978, says Keith. I played 4th and I was really young. I was quite young when I started 4th, I think. It must have been 4th I started using actual rules then. Because I remember the release of the Tau. I was a staff sergeant in 2004. Jesus. I joined in 2005, mate. A post-Towers child, I know. Also started Fantasy. I started Fantasy in 7th edition, like towards the end of 7th edition. 1979, feck me, I'm old. Where's Lise? She's enjoying her day off tonight. Didn't want to come and talk to you, Kai. I think she mentioned your name as well. I only started in 2017 in my mid-20s. That's thank you for the 1 gifted. Yeah, 59. The train's not dead. It's still rolling slowly. Started in 91 when I was 11. 8th ed with friends from college. That's cool. I feel like 8th brought a lot of people in though. I started with Lord of the Rings and the part work magazine they did. And then my second cousin gave me all his old 2nd edition Dark Angels. Still got my Rogue Trader original paperwork I purchased from my FLGS. That's incredible. If you played 4th, you weren't young. Well, when I was young, I played 4th. Right? Printers, thank you for 1 gifted. We're up to 60. 40 to go. Just 10 people with 10. And so, 4 people with 10. 10 people with 10 would also work. But 4 people with 10. 2 people with 20. 8 people with 5. 40 people with 1. And my mate still got it. I've got OG Space Hulk. I killed my friend's Avatar of Cain with my Ravenwing Landspeeder assault cannon so many times. D10 damage is a hell of a thing. 2nd ed had some wonky stuff. I didn't know they used anything other than D6. So what was the 1st edition where they moved to flat D6? Was that 3rd edition? Joseph, thank you for the 1 gifted. You're a hero. Fucking legend. I had a copy of Rogue Trader, no idea what it was all about, and I think 2nd edition Fantasy started with my Skaven then. Amazing. Yeston, thank you for the 1 gifted, you beautiful human. Even with what you said yesterday. I haven't forgiven you. Haven't forgiven you, Yeston. Got a 40k game to play, says Jason. Go enjoy yourself, dude. 97. I finished my hitch in the US Army in 89. The year Luce was born. Evan, thank you for the 1 gifted. Wow. Started 40k in 2021. Now 4 armies in AOS a week ago. What did you pick for AOS? Talk to me, Goose. What did you pick for AOS? I started with Eldar in 2004 when I was 14. Remember pushing the old polystyrene boards together after school. I remember when me and my brother were playing when we were at secondary school, we would go up into our parents had a little semi-detached 3-bedroom house. And what they did is a friend of theirs was like a builder, carpenter type person. And he converted our attic, our loft for us into another room. So like essentially plastered all the walls so it could be painted, put a floor in and carpeted the floor, and then built some stairs and put some cupboards in, right? So that we could use it as an additional room, because obviously we'd only, downstairs is literally living room, kitchen, diner, that's it. And then upstairs was literally 3 bedrooms, bathroom, that was it, that's the house. It's not a particularly big place, okay? So they put this room in, and what my brother and I, Ash, would do is we would go upstairs to the attic with our poorly built, almost no flash removed, amazing models that were in no way legally put together in a forced organisation chart 9 times out of 10 to start with. And I remember we would have things like upside down crockery bowls as mounds, and we would have like Pringles tubes, the little Pringles tubes if we had any, or empty tins of beans would be like silos and stuff like that. And we were very much the people that we didn't have any terrain apart from the little, remember the little L-shaped like ruins that came in some of the starter boxes? We had some of those, and we would basically stack books. I don't have an example indeed. We basically stack books like weird like towers for terrain. That's what we did for terrain. One with a hat does 40k. Thank you for the word gifted. I need to make sure I got that name right. Thank you so much, dude. What a hero. I started during 2nd edition around 96, got back into it just before 8th got announced. Ginger Yeti is still a grey name, chat, by the way, just so you know. If you're a grey name in chat and you want to be a member, but you're too fucking stingy to pay for your own membership, right? ! Snipe me, all one word. No gaps, no spaces. ! Snipe me. And you might find that one of the current members makes it a mission of theirs to try and snipe you with a gifted membership so you can get access to the channel. Okay? Those rule terrain were tough as fuck. When I was a corporal, one of my Toms had an orc army. Loved the models. It was Sixth Head at the time, I think. He is now a major. Oh, wow. My first army was Fantasy Chaos. Next was Tyrannid. Second was Dwarfs and Blood Angels. Incredible. I need to go for a wee chat. I'm jigging here, right? But Luce isn't about because she's busy doing her own, like, she's having a little sewing and stitching day out the way, right? I'm going to run to the bathroom, okay? By the time I get back, you'll have all sniped Ginger Yeti. Please don't super chat because she'll read it out once I'm not here and it'll break the stream, okay? I'll be literally right back. I'll be literally a minute, if that, okay? What's a good night, folks? Good night? It's 8:30. I mean, old people, right? I'll be right back. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Stu Will, thank you for 5 gifted, you fucking beautiful human. I'm so sorry. I have in recent months, weeks, got to a point where I'm now drinking 2 litres of water every single day, which is great for me and I feel so much better for it. But my bladder is not still yet used to it. We're getting there. I'm not yet used to it. But thank you so much, Stu, for the 5 gifted, you fucking legend. Did you get him? Did you get him? Liz, thank you for the 1 gifted, you legend. We didn't get, who is it? Who sniped, who's put exclamation mark snipe me? Just Ian put exclamation mark snipe me, fuck me, and so did Ginger Yeti. I can say, just Ian didn't get one. Ginger Yeti's got one now from Liz. Just Ian still needs one though. Thank you so much, Liz, you fucking legend. I finally started building my Sigmarine mausoleum and all these years, and now I see it sells. Looking forward to Horror Terrace tomorrow. It'll be fun tomorrow. Big Bad John on stream. It'll be fun. Him and Joe, I think, are getting into the studio at 9:30 because Joe has no idea what he's doing with Horror Terrace.
I started in 5th edition, taught by a friend of a friend named Clayton, who would go on to be known as Blippy the Child Entertainment Star. True story.
Thank you for the 5. I don't know who Blippy the Child Entertainment Star is, to be fair. But, cool. Mad Larkin's got exclamation marks like me as well, chat, just so you know. I don't know who the fuck is Blippy the child entertainment star. Is that a real person? We borrowed installation from construction sites, cut it up, sanded it, and flocked it to make hills. That's cool. Question for the AOS nerds. I know when it first dropped, square bases were okay. Is that still the case? Can't be bothered to rebase. No, square bases are not legal since 2nd edition. Boo! Just got home from Peterborough. Fuck me, what a day. Twats on the line causing train delays. Yeah, well. Hope you've not had a terrible day though, Sick Monkey. Hope it's been okay. Hey, Garsty. Did John pick which child he is taking? No, he came over today. And he didn't pick a child. I made him steak. Entertained him. His hotel kicked him out this morning and he couldn't get back in until this evening, so I entertained him. Blippy be touching the no-no spots. Horus Heresy is basically tied up 7th edition. He might remember some of it. I remember lots of 7th edition, but I feel like I was like, honestly, chat, honestly, I was honestly in a place where I was going to be like, I'll play Heresy with John. It'd be super cool to be able to play him on stream. Legitimately, but Joe is such a Heresy nerd. I feel like if I took that away from him, I'd be being a bad boss and a bad friend, right? I feel like I would be being a bad boss, bad friend, because I know how much he loves Heresy. So I feel like giving him the opportunity to play Heresy with John is probably the right way. I didn't realize it was steak and blowjob day. John's a lucky man. Well, when you spend as much as he does, Grumpy's Panda. Perhaps you should play with my knowledge. Nah, I think Joe will be fine. I think it'll come back to him. I think he'll enjoy it. And it'll be funnier with Joe on stream as well. I'm under no illusions that Joe's more popular than I am. And no illusions at all. Right? Now I know why this isn't on stream. How dare you? I still find it mad how close the 40k dice system poll is. Thirsty Conjurer, great fucking name by the way. Thank you for 5 gifted memberships. You guys might do this without John. You got 26 to go. You might actually do this without him. Had my first game of Pariah today. Must say it was really fun with the new missions. Pariah's better than Leviathan. Liam Dent beat John like the other guests. Exactly, yeah. I need to keep him on side. No one cares about being beat by Joe. No one cares. Everyone likes being beat by Joe. No one likes being beat by me anyway. Did my message get eaten? She said it. If it's about Blippy the Child Entertainment, she's read that one out, Sunchip Lover. She did read it out loud. Sunchip Lover. Chat, we're on 74 members. Can you do this without John? Is it possible? You're 26 to go. Could you do that without him? Joe, Dark Angels, Iron Hands, or Raven Guard, or perhaps All Sons of Horus First Company. Joe is going to be Alpha Legion. The best games GW has ever made in terms of rule sets is their smaller games, Blood Bowl, Mordheim, and Necromunda. I've heard a number of people say that the best rules they've ever made is Middle-earth strategy battle game. I've heard a number of people say Blood Bowl, actually. At the moment, my current favourite rule set that I've ever seen and played currently is genuinely new AOS. Not shilling. 100% if it's a terrible product, I'd tell you. Currently. I have to say, we'll see if it stands the test of time. Right? Joe's not a sore winner. I mean, you haven't been watching him when he wins then, Carl, have you? Let's be honest. I wouldn't mind seeing them go to either D10 or D12 system, but how would they keep it balanced? I have no idea. But they're not in black. I know. The thing is, right, what's interesting when you say the best games ever made is their smaller games, Blood Bowl, Mordheim, Necromunda. And then Escapade, not Escapade, where is it? Dorkbus says, try Warcry as well. I think inherently, the reason why a lot of these smaller games will feel better is simplistically because they're easier to balance. There's less variety. Like for me, one of the big things that will allow the AOS team to arguably have an easier job of balancing in addition is the significant lack of monumentally powerful ranged firepower, right? So when you have to balance World Eaters versus Tau, for example, they both operate in incredibly different phases of the game, but each of them does significant amounts of damage in their respective phases. In AOS, there is shooting. Ranged exists, but it's not a thing that every army has loads of access to. And for most that do have access that aren't, say, Caradron Overlords, it's predominantly just a couple of bows and arrows here and there. Right? So I feel like the AOS team has an easier job balancing it. Middle-earth Strategy Battle is a great game. Middle-earth Strategy Battle game rules have barely changed in 23 years, so they must be pretty good. Quite a solid Warcry following in Southampton, actually. It's fun, a bit random, but I enjoy it. Are you in Southampton? Smart Peddler. What a great fucking name. You're in Southampton. You're local to us and you're not a member. How dare you? How fucking dare you? They're actually much smaller setup and playtime, gets into the action right away. Yeah, I do think the AOS 4 design is borrowed from Middle-earth Strategy Battle game. I don't know MESGB. I don't know that game very well at all. I think I've seen it played or sat with someone playing it once, and I don't know if it was the players, but it seemed to be run in the middle, everyone fights each other. So who is John running? Ultramarines. God, he bought a beautiful resin Ultramarines army with him on the fucking plane. Lunatic. He also put it in the hold. Double lunatic. Forgot the absolute best game Games Workshop ever made was Talisman. Not heard of it. Time to go back to second edition 40k, and it took 10 hours to play 2,000 points. But Vortex Grenades! I forgot Vortex Grenades. Smaller games attract fewer dickheads, so experience tends to be better. Interesting. Grey name matches most of my model's colour. Hope you are well, Liam. Say hello to Jay. I will, Tattooed as well. Just hope you are well as well, sir. Chat, we are still 26 members away from you doing it without John. Because it is oh, Liz is she's helping. She's helping Liz. You've already gifted a couple anyway. Thank you so much for 5 more gifted, you beautiful human being. Up to 79. The finest new memberinos. Thank you, Liz. You're amazing. Smart Peddler, also known as Pile of Shame. Talisman is slightly different.
And I'm gonna win against John.
What does that look like, Sam? It's so fast to explain. I can get a game set up, explain the rules, play it, put everything away in under 2 hours. Amazing. Middle-earth Strategy Battle game has great rock, paper, scissors with their armies. There is no best army, but I totally agree the games tend to just be fighting in the middle of the board. But I think, I feel like that's scenario dependent though, Alex, right? I feel like with a little bit of work, you could probably make scenarios with Middle-earth, perhaps even sort of slightly reenacting scenes from the films, whereby you could kind of mitigate the turn 1 I move forward, turn 2 you move forward, turn 3 I move forward. We're kind of edging until someone basically has to go, we're in charge range, charge, and we both fight a bit. I feel like you could probably mitigate that to a point. That being said, if the rules have barely changed in 20 plus years, I would argue that the mechanics at least are solid. Did finally pick up Scaventide today. We'll have plenty of time to build it as I'm currently recovering from COVID round 3. Fucking hell. I think I had it once. How you get on painting those cruel boys? Still building them. Still building them. I've got the... Where's the box? Where is the box? Loads of things are falling over. Making a message, chat. Auric Warclans. I have got left to build the 10 Gut Rippers. Once the 10 Gut Rippers are built, I can then start base coating. I made a right mess down here now. But the 10 Gut Rippers, there's options on them, right? So banner, musician, etc. And I don't love musicians typically, so I was like, do I have to build one? So what I did yesterday was I picked these up and brought them home so I could look at the rules for the Spearhead for the Cruel Boys and see what the Gut Rippers had on their data card, so I could make sure I made them correctly. And then in doing that, I also found my Vanguard box for Sylvaneth, and after playing Sylvaneth, I instead decided to build some Tree Revenants. Got the bug. There are 18 match play scenarios in middle-left strategy battle game. Not all of them incentivize moving towards middle. Oh, okay. I can ride for Ruin in 40k. Thank you, Rough Riders and Death Riders of the Imperial Guard. Amazing. The Middle Earth battle strategy battle guard are super chill, very little dickheads. Oh, really? It's nice to hear. How many of you are seasoned AOS players? I've got a question for you. How many of you are any of you seasoned AOS players? Also, if you're sorry, Liam, I can't move on from Grey, but I like the vid. Oh, thanks, Dorcabus. Maybe someone will gift you one. I also forgot to say, by the way, we have our element sponsor, !element, and I haven't built the exclamation mark yet, but in the video description below, there is also a sponsor below the element sponsor for a similar company based in the US, where if you purchase through that company, if you purchase through, I'm forgetting the name of it now, it's going to fucking annoy me. If you purchase through Wargame Portal, we also get a 5% kickback if you use the link in the video description below. There are scenarios that force you to spread out your forces, but every scenario ends with one team has lost 75% casualties, so every game is killy. Oh, that's interesting. So no matter what the mission is, if your opponent loses 75%, you win. My Hounds of Morkai arrived today. This is my next build project. Also found out today I'm getting a pay rise at work. Not a joke, really. That's amazing. Congrats, Stu. Everyone say congrats to Stu. We still have 21 members to go, chat, with 19 minutes. Warhammer Gamers Club played since first day of AOS, just subbed as loving your fresh take on the game. Oh, thanks, dude. I like that, by the way. I like people that are finding us because of AOS. That's incredible. What I want to know is, so in my experience with 40k, there are unfortunately some toxic players. However, I would argue that on the whole, it isn't a guarantee every single event that I'm going to run into one. There are more than I'd like. I'm not suggesting it's a high percentage, but there are more than I'd like, right? So for you seasoned AOS players, what's the AOS scene like at tournaments? And I'll explain. 7th edition, 8th edition, some of 9th edition, I attended lots of tournaments. And I honestly really enjoyed it. Genuinely really enjoyed it. It got to a point, however, where I started to not enjoy it. And some of that was down to the game, and some of that was down to some of the people I kept bumping into. I feel like going forward, in terms of going and attending events and playing events, I feel like I'd rather do that with AOS than with 40k. But I want to know about the scene, right? I fucking can't say this one. One with a hat does 40k. Thank you for 5 gifted, you fucking 16 to go, chat. You can do it. I believe in you. Lots of people saying congrats, Stu. Congrats, Stu. Congrats, Stu. That's amazing. 5% is decent, Stu. Well done, dude. Well done, mate. Clearly, you didn't forget the balls. Clearly. Doing my part while painting Gloomspike. I fucking love Gloomspike, Gits. Super friendly and chilled. You should def come along to one and meet the regulars. Okay. I like how you say you should definitely come along to one and meet the regulars. Are you local? You local to Southampton? I absolutely want to bring my own army of AOS stuff to a tournament and just have a go. To be honest, that's the thing that's put me off 40k has been the toxicity I've experienced at tournaments. I find there's much less of it in the smaller games. I've never been to an AOS tournament. We have a nice local 40k group. It's nice because no one is super non-confrontational, and they'll tell you if you're being a dickhead. That's amazing. Big Bad Peter Gaming, thank you for the 1 gifted. Up to 85, just 15 to go. Big Bad Peter Gaming's got us there, so only 3 people can get us over the edge. If 3 people give 50 right now, we will do it. AOS scene around the world is amazing. I've played all across the US, and I've met 2 people who needed some lithium in their diet. Okay. I can only play local, but AOS is a much friendlier crowd. Dorchester, you are nearby, sir. Dorchester's not that far from where we are in Southampton. Interesting. Someone get Warhammer Gamers Club a membership, please. Someone get him. Someone make him green. I've only encountered one gamey dickhead at an AOS tournament who did the whole fast rolling behind terrain thing. Was it intentional? Started AOS at the beginning of third. There's a tournament scene group down here who schedules and teaches new players how to play on the regular. Everyone's super nice, helpful, and wants it to grow. You should go to the Spearhead event at the start of August in Portsmouth. Go to Portsmouth? Ugh. Brother, My AOS tournaments are usually chill and a laugh. I've only had one issue with one player in particular, but they got banned. I might come, Alex. Might come soon. 3 people give 50. I guess I'd do it. Exactly, Datsun does. It would do it. That's what I'm saying. If 3 people give 50 right now, we'll get to the 100 target. It's basic maths, Des. It's basic maths. Friendly bunch of AOS players in Cornwall. My experience with tournaments for 40k, I've never come across any gamey or dickhead players. You know what they say, Leaving Russ? If you haven't come across one, you know what they say. Lived in Salisbury till very recently, then moved just before discovering you. Now I'm 3 hours away. Ah, is that why it's a cry Sander rather than like happy Sander? I feel like adding different dice would make it more complicated than the D6 make it. I'm a stick to D6 system person, to be fair. To be honest with you. Johan, thank you for the 1 gifted, you fucking legend. What a hero. 14 to go. What's wrong with Pompey apart from Andrew clogging the area? It's Portsmouth, isn't it? Launch weekend this weekend, more than welcome. Otherwise, we play Thursday nights at mine. Got 10 to 12 most weeks. Hans Hammerers are most local club to you in Southampton. Thing is with Thursday nights is we're always on stream. We stream every night of the week, apart from weekends. I was in Southampton once. Not a single room vacant in the entire town was during 100% or so eclipse. Had to sleep in a park. Did not enjoy the stay. I bet you didn't. You'll be pleased to know, Liam, I am coming to Southampton in a couple of weeks, but less pleased when I tell you it's because we're going to Peppa Pig World. It's a good day out. It's a good day out, Luton. Is it for the kids or is it for you? When I was a police officer, I only had to draw my weapon at a few 40k players and arrest only one. I'm in the US West Coast and the AOS scene is really great here too. I don't see people saying bad words, like literal one tiny, perhaps core of a bad apple somewhere, every now and again. I might start up AOS just to get my local soul going. I do it. It's fucking great. I say, again, caveat, I've played minimal games. Like, it is for the kids. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. It's Peppa Pig World's decent. It's good. It's a good day out. It's a good day out for the kids. You'll enjoy it. If the weather's okay, it's a good day out for the kids. Had one gaming player who swiftly stopped and apologised when someone called them out on it, as it was my third 40k game. And Stronghold that meet at the Hobbit looks like they nearly have their shop ready too. Where's that? Because we're around the corner building a shop. I want to know about these police officers that had to fucking draw weapons at 40k players. Last time I came to Southampton, I got to bask in the glory of Joe. Oh, I got to see Liam, I guess. No one cares about me, Sean. It's all about Joe. 14 members to go, chat. 14. You've almost done the 100 without John. The Hobbit is a shadow of what it was, sadly. 100%, yeah. It is, unfortunately. We're around the corner from the Hobbit. We're building a big gaming store. A big gaming hall. I say big. Medium. It's medium-sized. Like, it's not as big as Elements Gaming Hall, but it's sizable for the location. Honestly, the best scene. So many events across the country. Made a ton of great mates from it. What do you want? Night, you. You just want to say goodnight to me. I'm off to the sleeps now. Night, night, everyone. Great stream. Good chat. Take care. Thanks, Escape. Average British nerd, thank you for the 5 gifted. We're going to do it. We might do it. It might actually happen without John. Oh my fucking god. Does that mean we've made I took the hit and bought 2 Spearhead boxes and am building them up to try to get my local scene into AOS. The Flesh Eaters in Sylvaneth also double as D&D enemies for me. Awesome. That's cool as shit, right? Size doesn't matter. It's what you do with it. 40k has definitely changed in the last 3 years I've been a part of it. For the worse, Tyler, or the better? I'm assuming for the worse, if the way you've worded it, but interested. Stick Monkey, thank you for the 1 gifted. We're gonna do it, chat. We're gonna do it.
I haven't played AOS at the local FLGS, but I've talked to a few people there and asked a bunch of questions, and they were patient and really super friendly. I'm looking forward to playing there.
That sounds amazing. Sean, it didn't give yours out. Has it rejected your membership? Ebflow, thank you for the 1 gifted. They give Ebflows out straight away. Didn't give Sean's out. Interesting. Christ, thank you for the 1 gifted. Used to live in Totten, around the corner from Morrison's. Literally where we are. Literally walking distance from Morrison's. Smeg for brain. That's terrifying. Wife wants biscuits. Time to go to Asda. Might have to leave this on loudspeaker and walk up. That's we're almost done. We've got 10 minutes. Only reason I sacked on 40k was the gamey dickheads in the area. I'm not surprised. Oh, Matt, thanks. When you get the gaming hall running, would you run Age of Sigmar events? 100%. 100%. I don't know if we do it monthly. We'd have to look at the uptake, but 100% we would, yeah. Yeah, 7 to go. 7 to go. Come on. Competitively worse, but enjoy playing with my buddies running more narrative lists. 100%, yeah. If we worded it AOS, you think Amy would get it right? Yes. Yeah, she says it weird, right? Carlos, thank you for the 10 bucks, by the way, man. You're a legend. Keanu, thank you for 5. Crumpets Panda, thank you for 5. We did it without John, chat. Everyone, you can pat yourselves on the back. Pat yourselves on the back. You did it without John. I might have to ask at my game shop if anyone is interested in AOS. I have multiple armies I could bring to let people play with. I mean, that removes the barrier immediately, right? Already failed the roll. Steve Monkey should re-roll. I'll re-drop it if it throws it back. You'll know because you'll get an email. Everyone pat yourselves on the back. I don't know if there's a pat on the back emoji. Oh, yeah, right. We should make that. We should make that emote. Thank you, people. You're a fucking amazing bunch of humans. Amazing bunch of humans. We're going to end this poll here as well now, because I feel like we've got all the votes we're going to get. And it did stay with the sticking to D6, but it wasn't too far off. 57 to 42 is interesting. I'm stalking at the past. Will Luce be doing introductory 40k games for new players at the game hall shop when it opens? I can't say definitely yes, but I think that would be hilarious. Mr. Sven Holier, thank you for the 1 gifted. Amazing. It might throw it back at you, Sean, because everyone else is just coming through. But it did announce it in chat, so maybe. Thank you, Mrs. Van Holy, for the 1 gifted. Thank you, Crumpets Panda, Kiana, for the 5s each. You people are amazing. Love you. Incredible human beings. Incredible techers. Incredible techers. The dab is the one, wee man. You're right. The gifting worked once I swapped to PayPal. Didn't let my card through every time I've tried for the last week. Odd. When your games room is open, I'll fly over and bring my space full. Been through Southampton a few times. You're more than welcome to the stream. More than welcome. Wonder how much hotels are near Game Hall. Hopefully a lot cheaper than Warminster. I think they are, Dave. So the thing is with the hotels around Warminster is there isn't a lot of them. It's quite a pretty area. And the event was, I think, summertime, right? So I feel like it's going to be cheaper in Southampton, because although it's Southampton, there's a lot of hotels, right? When is potential opening? I don't know. Please don't. I don't know. We're so close. We're so close to having the lease signed. and then it might be that we need some sort of GoFundMe type thing for stock, etc. We'll see. It's a terrifying and daunting process. But once it's done and it's open, I think it'll be worth it. But who knows? Who knows? It's a roll of the dice, right? Well, at this point, we're playing a D6 system. We roll it, and either it goes well or it doesn't. And if it doesn't, then this channel may end up ceasing to be, but we'll see. Will you allow a camp to be set up in the underground car parks at game weekends? It could be cheaper. No. I'm across the pond, let me know. Don't you worry. We will have a... I think we'll probably do like a soft opening event to Thanes. And then we'll do a proper launch weekend at some point. But we need to test the systems, and I feel like we can use you Thanes to test the systems, perhaps. So you'll know. You'll know. I promise, you'll know. Why isn't it opening next week, Dave? Like, please. You know more. You know better than most people, Dave. Just CP reroll. Yeah, well. I still think I still, to this moment, think I had more fun last night because of the lack of rerolls. Genuinely. I think it also helps, to be honest with you. I think it also helps that I'm a big fan of melee-focused armies and fight phase, like, manipulation and being positioning and fighting and all that kind of stuff, right? I genuinely believe that was a contributing factor to why I had so much fun, because I prefer melee anyway, even in 40k. But I think the majority of it was rerolls. Isn't Southampton the port that cruise liners use for London? Yes, I think so. Get a motorhome, pitch up in the car park. We have got some spaces that will probably fit a couple of them. But other people might be upset because then they can't park there. That would be bad. Right? And if you park a motorhome outside the car park on the road just outside where the car park is, then you have a strong likelihood of having your door knocked by a lady of the night. A lady of negotiable affection. I like that too. That's why I play guard. Car park big enough for hog roast and axe throw? Abso-fucking-lutely, if we don't want any cars parked in there. Loads of hotels in Southampton, 3 or 4 Premier Inns. Yeah, and I think that's what brings the price down, right? Because there's lots of those types of hotels that are close enough. Some of them are close enough you could walk, or a short Uber. Or taxi, I guess, if you're old-fashioned. It's up to you. Anywho, you fucking gorgeous human beings. Oh, wait, what did I miss? One is Liam opening a store. Yes. Please don't ever lose this channel. I don't intend to, Matt. I don't intend to. A change of pace is also good from time to time. You can be utterly enamored by 40k, still love trying different... Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah. Ladies of horizontal refreshment. Exactly that. Is it all negotiable affection? Yes. Ah, it's on Empress Road, Industrial Estate. How did you know, Smut Peddler? How did you know? Yes, it is. Terrifyingly bad that you know exactly where it was immediately, right? Liam, you had me at free parking. Bonus with the other nighttime services. Do we get a Liam fact? No, that's a Luce thing. I'm not taking that from her. I can't do that. I can't do that to Luce. You absolutely all deserve one, to be fair, yes. And I'm not saying you don't deserve one, but that's a Luce thing. I can't take that away from Luce. Most of the ladies of the night are missing at least a few teeth. They are quite gummy, yes. Anywho, you people have been fucking phenomenal. You smashed the membership goal without John. Oh my God. Thank you so much. You fucking beautiful human beings. It's incredibly generous, that is. And thank you so much for all the super chats, donations, the chats, the likes, the engagement on the poll, that kind of stuff. You're amazing. We've got 178 likes on the stream, which is good for a Wednesday nowadays, right? There was a time when 10th edition came out, we were hitting 300-400 people on a live stream. It's gone right down now, but you lot are the best. Our live chat's the best, without any fucking doubt whatsoever. The best. And I appreciate all of you, so thank you so much. Tomorrow, we have a full complement of streams. We have the Liam and Joe and possibly John show at 13:30 over in the studio, where they're probably going to be refreshing themselves and kind of swatting up on Horus Heresy, much like we did on Tuesday. And then in the evening at 7:30, we're going to have our first ever, and probably first only for a while, live game of Horus Heresy, because the amazing John is literally joining us in the studio and playing against Joe on stream. Right? Fancy. What I'd love to do, because of the way John is I'd love for you guys to smash through that membership target whilst John's playing and he can't do anything about it. That'd be amazing. And then on Friday, we're back at 8:30 with 40k After Dark, whereby I'm going to drink some mead and enjoy myself. And we probably, like, tonight was a really serious Warhammer chat. Friday, I'd almost guarantee Luce will be back with me, and it probably won't be a serious Warhammer chat. We'll be chatting all kinds of nonsense. So don't forget to tune into that one, the way to start the weekend right, okay? But you guys have been utterly incredible, and I very much appreciate it. Thank you so much. Humbled, I think is the right word. 104 members without John, after he smashed in the biggest super chat I've seen for a long time. Insane. Love you. Thank you. You always blow me away with the generosity team. It's amazing. We work really fucking hard, and I hope that's mostly noted, that we work really fucking hard. And we give you everything for free, pretty much, because I think that's the right thing to do, so you can choose whether you want to support us or not. And yet, it always blows me away, the level of generosity that comes from you people. You're insane. Right? I have to wait for Johan's super chat to come through as well. But cheers, Johan.
Vacation coming up, and that includes buying copious amount of beer for Operation Summer Drunk, so have to check my spending for a while. But here's a postcard at least.
Johan, thank you so much for the 100 Swedish, you legend. Nah, the idea is you get drunk and then spend more, right? I reckon. Love you and everyone's hard work. Keep it up, boss. Thanks, man. You're a hero. Have a good one from the US. Friday nights for talking about bras and dresses, not 40k. Exactly, Colin. So look forward to 2 streams tomorrow, 1 on Friday before we celebrate going into the weekend. And hopefully, probably not watching England live on stream, live on the weekend. No one wants to do that. Is Warhips alive, Mr. Josh? That's a good idea, actually. So what we're going to do, typically what we do now is we try and redirect to someone who's amazing. And I don't have Warhips alive currently. It doesn't tell me I can raid him. War hipster. Hip. War hipster. It doesn't tell me I can raid him. I haven't got the option. I don't have the option. I can't. You keep saying raid Josh. I can't. It doesn't give me the option. Add redirect. Other channels. Is he actually live? Has he got redirect turned off? That'd be silly. He's got redirect turned off. He's not live, you lunatic. How can I raid Josh when he's not live? Right, well, okay, there goes that idea. Anyway, watching the AOS VOD after this, take care. I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll really, really enjoy it, right? Thank you so much, you beautiful human beings. I love you all very much. You incredible, incredible people. Good night, Liam. Sorry to lurk for a lot of the time, but work's busy as fuck. Don't be sorry about for working, man. You're amazing. Thank you so much for watching, you beautiful humans. We'll see you, hopefully tomorrow at least. Liam and Joe and possibly John show. Remember that. And then Heresy tomorrow. Heresy and AOS in the same week. You're amazing. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.